great example of a question that most people will still get right, but they'll get it right in an amount of time that is not the most efficient amount of time. So how can I do this more efficiently? Well, the GMAT tends to give us tips about what they want us to do in terms of how they want us to solve the question. And one thing I see here is we have all these different bases, all these different denominators, right? But I see that this denominator and this denominator have a common denominator of 6. Like if I was going to compare them to each other, I would turn them into 6. Meanwhile, this one and this one have a common denominator of 20. So instead of trying to get a common denominator for all 6 of these at the same time, which would be 60, I'm going to instead chunk it up and do the left-hand side and then the right-hand side and add them together across the middle. So on the left-hand side, I have 1/3, which is equal to 2/6. Whatever you multiply the bottom by, you multiply the top by as well, which will not change the value of the number. And then I have 1/2, so I multiply top and bottom by 3, and that's 3/6. And you see that this adds up to 5/6 on top, and then we're subtracting 5/6 from that. So this whole left side is going to end up being worth 0. What about the right side? Well, we have 1/5, which is equal to 4/20, plus 1/4, which is equal to 5/20, minus 9/20. And again, we end up with 0. And this is exactly how the author of this question wanted us to solve it. They gave us the opportunity to chunk it up left versus right. And when both sides came out to 0, you know that the sum of the entire equation is going to equal 0, which means that the answer is answer choice A. So this is the fastest way to solve it. The tip I picked up on that the test maker was showing me was just being conscious of, I figured it out by just being conscious of the denominators. What do they look like? Take an extra 5 seconds to conceptualize it before you just dive in and start doing the math. You could easily solve this by using 60 in the denominator for all of them. It just involves a lot of extra conversion, and I'd rather avoid that if possible. So answer choice A is the answer here. Be cognizant of what you're about to do before you dive into your math.